Hey, you found 13th Whisper. Here, we dig into the darkest corners of the mind and tell the kind of stories that stay with you long after the lights go out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps the channel grow and lets me keep whispering the things you wish you hadn't heard. So, shall we begin? The Old Ranger. Some forests you don't walk into after dark, and some you don't walk into at all, especially if you're not local. Deep in the Appalachians, in Patrick County, Virginia, there's an old, overgrown trail that doesn't show up on any map. Locals call it the Ranger's Path, but there's no ranger out there anymore. At least, not one who's alive. Andrew Harper was a nature photographer, not the wedding kind, the wild kind. He hunted for forgotten places, moss, fog, rust, silence. That fall, he drove deep into the mountains, alone. At a gas station in a town called Midlothian, he asked an old woman if she knew any hidden trails. She didn't smile. She just said, "There's one trail, but you shouldn't go, especially not alone." Why? Because he's still there, the old ranger. He watches the ones who look. Andrew thought it was local folklore. He went anyway. He found the trail the next morning, past a rusted gate hidden under fallen leaves. There were no signs, just an old rope hanging from a tree like it once held a lantern. The forest was silent. No wind, no birds, no bugs, only the sound of his own breath. He walked for hours, took photos, and slowly realized he couldn't find his way back. GPS, dead. Compass, spinning, and the leaves already covering his footprints. It was like the forest wanted him to stay. On the third day, hungry, exhausted, he saw the cabin. Old, warped, buried halfway in roots. The boards were black, and from the chimney, smoke. Someone was inside. He called out. No answer. He stepped closer and saw the window. And in the window, a figure. Tall, thin, still. Then the figure lifted its hand and knocked on the glass from the inside. Andrew ran. He didn't know which way. Branches whipped his face. His lungs burned. He fell. Blacked out. He woke at dusk. Cold. Shaking. And then he saw it. A sign. Half rotten. Nailed to a tree. Ranger Station Boundary. J. Coleman. Forest Watch. Since 1911. He stumbled forward. And finally, lights. A search crew. They'd been looking for him for 3 days. He never went back. But sometimes, on quiet nights, he wakes to knocking 3 times at the window. And in the reflection, standing just behind him, is a tall, thin silhouette. Apartment 5B. After the divorce, Brooke Larson rented apartment 5B. It was cheap, unfurnished, but had great light and a view of the river. Old brick building, long hallway, creaky stairs. But Brooke didn't mind. She wanted silence. From people, from her past, from herself. Neighbors didn't bother her. Elevator was broken. Each floor had 2 units. Hers, 5B. Across the hall, vacant. The first week was peaceful. She bought a mattress, a laptop, a few lamps. Started to feel like home. Then the knocking started. At first, it was faint. Pipes, maybe. Then, in the wall behind her bed. 3 knocks. Always 3. She assumed it was a neighbor. But 5A was still empty. On the 3rd night, at 3:17 a.m., she woke to a soft shuffling sound and saw a door in the corner of her bedroom, an old wooden door, one she swore hadn't been there before. She blinked. Gone. Next morning, nothing. But on the floor, where it had been, rusted hinge marks. She called the landlord. He said, "5B's got history. Used to be a supply room, years ago. They sealed it off. No one goes in there now." But I saw it. I wouldn't open it, Miss Larson. Even if it comes back. On the 5th night, she stayed awake, flickering flashlight in hand. At 3:17, the door returned. Same place, same silent arrival. It wasn't just a hallucination. It was there. She approached. Cold air drifted through the cracks, and a smell. Wet wood, rot, rust. Then, the doorknob turned, and she heard breathing. Slow, deep, coming from the other side. She raised her phone, started recording, and the door slowly began to open. She dropped the flashlight, ran to the kitchen, didn't sleep again. The next morning, the door was gone. No marks, no hinges, but the file remained. 32 seconds of video, and on the last second, two pale hands emerge from the dark gap. Now, Brooke lives with a friend. Apartment 5B is still listed online, but no one stays more than a month, because the door comes back every night at 3:17. That's all for now. Thanks for listening all the way through. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe, leave a like, and share this episode with someone else who can't sleep at night. Now, turn off the lights, close your eyes, and remember, the scariest things happen when you think it's all over. I'll see you again very soon, and don't forget to check under your bed before you sleep.